First of all, you usually talk after the game. I didn't see you in the locker room. Just curious, anything going on with you after the game? Any reason you didn't?
Nah, I just had to rush home. I had some family in town. They was waiting on me at my car.
Fair enough. I know you do it every week, so just checking. This is kind of a big picture question, I guess, but like, how does the coaching staff hold players accountable on this team?
How does a coaching staff or us?
How does this coaching staff hold you guys accountable? If someone's not, playing up to the standard, how are they held accountable?
Pretty much we evaluate the film. I guess I wouldn't say call out, call people up to the standard of how they should be playing, and we, give examples of how it should look. And after that, Wednesday, Thursday, we drill it.
And if you see guys don't respond to that, like, do you see that message get through, or you know what I mean? Like, do you think people are responding to being held accountable the way it's been conducted here?
I feel like everybody responds to it well. There isn't a lot of egos on the deep. Well, I'm speaking defensively. There isn't a lot of egos on the defensive side as far as talking back or like not taking the coaching. I feel like people respond to it well. They just have to keep working that craft and keep honing in on what they need to improve on.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Evan Barnes.
Hey, Ryan.
Yo.
I'm curious, for you guys always talk about just the pride you guys have with this run defense and wanting things to get better and just improving with that. I guess when you see teams constantly run the ball, like the Niners did when they basically ran the whole fourth quarter, mentally, kind of what does that do to you guys pride-wise to kind of see that the run D isn't where you want it to be?
The pride isn't the problem. I don't feel like anybody's shying away from contact or not playing hard. I think it's more so the details of where we need to be aligned. The 49ers have an amazing run scheme as far as like their window dressing, the flashes, the motions, everything that they do it for a reason. It's a rhyme and purpose. We just have to be more honed in on our part in that. It's just a lot of stuff going on. We got to play better, detail oriented.
Gotcha. And then I also know, like, every season is its own entity. Like, last season has nothing to do with this season, but you guys are 2-7 again. And I guess I'm just curious, how frustrating is it for all the talk that you guys had before the season, making things different? How frustrating is it to be in that same position 9 games in as you were last year?
It is. It's very frustrating. Just because of the hype that was surrounding the team and the level of energy and, optimism, I would say, going into the season. But like I said, that's how every team feels going into the season, until they hit adversity. I think we need to be better with hitting adversity and, being consistent when we do get our wins and stacking them instead of, going back to what we've been doing, and that just comes from consistency, honestly. Pretty much that's all I would say on that. I mean, I understand that the record is the same, but at the end of the day, like, I don't see guys giving up or anything of that nature. I don't see guys blinking too much. So,
all right, thanks, Brian.
Tom Rock.
Brian, I'm curious if you feel like this team has gotten over that fourth quarter in Denver yet, or has the last couple of weeks sort of been a continuation of that slide?
You said Denver?
Denver, yes. Denver.
Nah, yeah, I ain't think about Denver since that happened. As far as other guys, I feel like they'll be on the same page that I'm on. I think, like I tell you guys every week, every Sunday is it's a new Sunday to me. Once that week starts, like, it's a clean scratch. Like, no matter if I had 2 or 3 sacks in the week before, once we get to another week, it's brand new to me. So I don't think too much or dwell too much on what happened in Denver. It was a terrible loss, but at the end of the day, we got more games. Like,
do you and then you touched on this a little earlier, but are you satisfied with the effort you see from the other 10 guys on the field with you? I mean, your effort is pretty unimpeachable, but the rest of the guys, do you feel like they're keeping up?
Yeah, I do. It always can be better, including myself. Like, I can always play harder. I try to leave everything on the field. I try to leave no meat left on the bone. But at the end of the day, like, we're all human. But at the same time, I expect them to hold me to a higher standard as I will with them. But I am, pleased with the effort I've been seeing thus far. I just need more from everybody.
Thank you.
Ryan Dunleavy.
Hey, Brian, thanks for doing this.
Oh, yeah, no problem, brother.
Sorry about that school bus. I was just curious how much you've been on teams in this spot before. The trade deadline, how much does that leak into the locker room? Is there a concern about guys being shipped off or breaking up what you guys have? And on the same side of that, if you guys were to acquire somebody, do you think there'd be an energizing effect to that?
Personally, I haven't felt or heard anyone say anything about the trade deadline. I've been in that situation a certain amount of times. It's tough to keep out of your head when you're the name that's in it. You know, it's tough to like not look at it, but at the same time, you can't control whether you leave or stay. So I think the only thing that you can do is, you know, focus on your craft, focus on your work. And then to your other question, if I feel like we make a big move, will that energize the building and whatnot? I don't know. I'm kind of just living in the present, trying to be where my feet are, and I'm only focused on who we have in the building and what we got going forward.
Thank you, Brian.
No problem, Doc.
Last one, Paul Schwartz.
Yeah, Brian, I got a couple for you. After, the video showed you on the sideline, after that missed field goal, you kind of shrunk, you kind of slumped into the bench. After you made the big play, Abdul gets the recovery. You guys give the offense good field position. What was that? That was what? Tell me what that was.
That was just me being me. It's no message intended for, the special team unit, no message intended for anybody to take any other kind of way. That's just me being me. I kind of just, after that play I made, I kind of just, had high hopes that we would get on the board again and, cut it down to a 3-point lead, at least. But that was just me being me. It wasn't nothing more to it.
I mean, literally looked like you physically couldn't stand up anymore. You looked like all the energy had been drained out of your body. I mean, it wasn't an acting, right? It was real.
I don't know about all that. It was just me being me, dog. That's it.
Okay. And, you mentioned before about, the 49ers have a really good run scheme.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of weeks ago about, how the pin and pull teams are doing things to kind of get the ball to the edges, all these things. I mean, is there a sense, there's always a counter and you do something, they counter, they do something, you counter. Is there ever a sense that, look, this is our defense and we are going to dominate this game no matter what the hell you do? No disrespect intended, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's what you want. You want to go out there and dominate and not care what the other doing. You have to care what the other team is doing, but they're trying to beat you. You're trying to beat them. Is there a little too much of, well, they do this really well, so it was hard for us to stop it?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I do think we play, to our scheme, to our strengths. What I think that teams have been doing recently is just trying to neutralize our strength, which is our D line, and they're not running a lot up the middle because Dex handles mostly everything that goes on in there. They're not letting me, Abdul, and KT, just tee off the edge. They're kind of, moving the picture, moving the number scheme, getting a lot of guys out and, trying to get everything into space. We just have to find a way to, combat that. And like I said, it's all down to details. They're changing their numbers. They're pulling guys. They're pinning guys. That changes the number for every defense. You understand? And we just have to be more gap-oriented and know where we need to fit so we can play faster. And, at the end of the day, that just comes to preparation and guys taking that extra step, with their preparation. And that's all it comes down to.